It's also misunderstood. So in this video, I'll explain compound interest in plain English, with real examples, so you can actually use it, how it grows your savings and investments over time, how it can destroy you through debt, and what to do today to make it work for you. Quick disclaimer, this is educational content, not financial advice. Returns are not guaranteed, and investing involves risk. Okay, let's start with the definition. Compound interest means you earn interest on your original money, and on the interest that money already earned. In other words, you earn interest on interest. That's the compounding effect. Investor.gov explains it the same way with a simple example. Content reference, OESITE, 0, index. Here's the simplest example possible. Imagine you put $100 somewhere that earns 5% per year. After year 1, you don't have $100 anymore. You have $105. Now year 2, 5% doesn't apply to $100. It applies to $105. So you end year 2 with $110.25. That extra 25 cents is interest earned on the previous interest. Content reference, OESITE, index. And that looks tiny, until time does what time always does. This is why people call compounding slow at first, then fast. Early growth feels boring. But later, the same percentage return creates much bigger dollar gains because the base is larger. Now, very important, people often mix up compound interest with compound returns. Compound interest is commonly discussed for savings accounts, bonds, and loans, where interest is calculated on principal plus accumulated interest. Compound returns is about reinvested gains in investments. They're related, but not exactly the same term. Fidelity makes this distinction clearly. Content reference, OESITE, index. But in both cases, the core idea is the same. Your money makes money, and then that money makes money. Now let's answer the question everyone cares about. How long does it take to double your money? There's a famous shortcut called the Rule of 72. It's a rule of thumb. Divide 72 by your expected annual rate of return, and you get the approximate number of years to double. For example, at 8% per year, 72 divided by 8 is about 9 years. The SEC's investor education material explains this exact approach. Content reference, OESITE, 3, index. So, 6% returns? 72, 6. It's about 12 years. That matches Vanguard's simple rule of thumb example as well. Content reference, OESITE, index. But here's the truth. Compounding isn't magic. It's math plus time plus consistency. If you want compounding to work, you need 3 ingredients. Ingredient 1, time. Time is the multiplier. Ingredient 2, rate. The higher the rate, the faster compounding accelerates, but higher expected returns usually come with higher risk. Ingredient 3, consistency. Adding money regularly is what turns compounding into a real-life wealth builder, not just a math example. Let me show you why consistency matters with a simple illustration. Imagine you invest $200 per month for 30 years. Even at a modest average return assumption, the long-term result can become a large number, not because you were lucky, but because you stayed consistent for a long time. Important warning, that return is not guaranteed. Fidelity explicitly reminds that assumed returns are illustrative and come with risk of loss. Content reference, OESITE, index. Still, the lesson is real. Consistent contributions plus time are what give compounding its power. Now let's flip the story, because compounding can also be dangerous. Compound interest works against you with debt. If you carry high-interest debt, especially revolving debt like credit cards, interest can compound and grow the balance faster than most people realize. The CFPB explains compound interest as earning interest on your saved money and the interest you earn along the way. This same mechanism applies in debt, interest accumulating on what you already owe. Content reference: YCT na Mountain Index. This is why a small interest rate difference can change your entire future. And it's why paying off high-interest debt often gives you a guaranteed return that's hard to beat. So here's a simple rule. You can't out-invest high-interest debt with motivation. You beat it with a plan. Now, I want to make this practical. If you want compound growth in real life, you need a system. Here are the real-world levers that most people ignore. Lever 1. Start earlier than you feel ready. Starting small beats waiting for the perfect moment. The early years feel slow, but they're the foundation. Lever 2. Reinvest and stay consistent. Compounding is strongest when you keep the money working instead of pulling it out too often. Lever 3. Reduce friction. Automate contributions. If you rely on willpower, you'll lose to life. Lever 4. Control costs and leakage. Fees and unnecessary costs reduce the amount that can compound over time. Even small differences can matter when you stretch them over decades. Lever 5. Stay the course. Compounding needs time, and time includes bad months and scary headlines. The long-term result comes from staying consistent through volatility. Now let's connect compounding to your everyday money decisions, because this is where most people get stuck. People think compounding is only for investing, but compounding also happens with habits. If you improve your savings rate slightly every month, and you keep that improvement, your financial base grows. That base then makes it easier to save more in the future. So in practice, your real job is to create a system where 1. You track your cash flow. 2. You consistently save or invest. 3. You avoid compounding debt. 4. And you measure progress. Here's a quick 60-second framework you can follow. Step 1. Make your monthly numbers visible. Income, essential costs, variable spending, and debt payments. Step 2. Choose one compounding action. For example, I will automate $50 per week into savings or an investment account. Step 3. Remove one compounding risk. For example, I will stop carrying a credit card balance, or I will pay extra toward the highest interest debt. Step 4. Review monthly. Not to judge yourself, just to adjust. And if you want a simple way to keep this organized, use a dashboard. That's the whole point of personal finance tools: clarity and consistency. In XPlus Finance, you can treat your money like a control panel, track spending categories, set goals, monitor debt, and keep your system visible so you stay consistent. The tool isn't the magic, the consistency is. Let's close with the most important truth. Compound interest is not a hack. It's a long-term advantage for people who start, stay consistent, and avoid compounding debt. It's boring in year 1. It's impressive in year 10. And it can be life-changing in year 20. So if you remember only one line from this video, remember this: time is the real multiplier. Start small. Stay consistent. Let compounding do its job. Thanks for watching.